Okay, we're back with another episode of Rumble DevLog 4. We've got 2 left before Rumble is done for good. So we got a lot of new stuff, and I think this time I'm going to try to take it through sort of chronologically through the pipeline. So like story, concepts, models, blueprints, stuff like that, generally speaking. And also, hopefully you're already noticing the audio mixing on this is going to be a lot better than last video. So let's get into that. So one of the things we have been working on was story. We have a first-person shooter. You shoot rats in a sewer, but why are you shooting them? Why are you there? Why are you killing rats? You know, we were asking the questions of what is the story to go along with the gameplay, and we had talked it over. And in short, you are a scientist, and your lab rats have broken out and mutated. They got into something they shouldn't have, and they have escaped from your lab into the sewers. And it is up to you to dispose of them all before things get any more out of hand. So we have concepts for the lab and the scientist character. The scientist character will appear in like the text boxes as just like sort of the profile image. And then that lab concept, I'm going to show you what that looks like now. So we have it in 3D. We actually have another level and everything. So now I think is a good time to actually start getting into our sort of gameplay chronologically right now. So right now this is a black screen, and if I go ahead and hit Alt-P for play in Unreal Engine, this is what we see. So we have our main menu still, so Rat Rumble, start and exit, and we can go ahead and start. And one thing you might have noticed is the health bar and the reticle are no longer on top of the main menu, but they're under it. So that's a nice little bug fix. And we're in the lab. A couple things you might notice is we actually have some shaders in here. So we have a cell shader and a really soft pixel shader. It just sort of pixelates things. And it just gives it a little bit more of a retro look, and it helps us get away with doing less with models and textures. And it's kind of fun. So in the lab here, you start out, and there's these little question marks, which you can walk up to and hit E on. And we've got this Textbox system. And there's a few different things around the lab you can explore. And you can sort of learn through this story at your pace. Or if you just want to get straight into it, you can grab the gun off the shelf. And this will be something that sort of destroys, and then you can get back there where the little sewer manhole is, or whatever you want to call it. But for now, it's just a button that teleports you, which is also another system from our first project, Hollow's Edge, if any of y'all remember that. Okay, so we're back in the sewers, and you'll notice we have the cell shader and the pixel shader, which is actually working on this one. I don't think it was working on the lab. But there's also a ring over here. So we have a pickup system that Aiden developed, and we have coins or rings or points or whatever you want to call them. So in the top right, there's a little counter right now, and if I move close to it, it flies to me and makes a nice little sound effect. One thing that I will mention too, though, is we'll get to him later. The rat combat system has been adjusted, so it's not perfect and it's not necessarily working all the way well right now. But they actually attack, so they'll move forward and then move back when they activate an attack, and then so there's sort of a cooldown, and they're moving back and forth rather than just, you know, standing right in front of the player and just doing infinite damage until you die. So there's more of a working combat system, but for whatever reason, they are not necessarily doing damage every single time, so we're still working on that. But the other thing is we have a new rat. So we have concepts for that, which I'll put up on the screen also. But we have a new rat character. And when we go to the main menu, and we start back in the lab. So there's a full loop. You can main menu, lab, sewers, die, main menu, lab, sewers, die, and repeat until the end of times right now. So that guy, we've got a new rat. And this is based on Matt's concepts. and it's just sort of a second form. It's more of an official rat than the first ones. And his damage stuff is actually working a lot better, because it's actually, ironically, it's based on an older thing where it doesn't have that attack system we currently have. So the combat's a little finicky, but we're getting there. And yeah, so I mean, one other final thing I want to show off in the sewers, if I can survive, is we actually have another thing that Aiden developed, this tube here. You'll understand it in just a second. It's a spawner. So we have spawners. So there's spawners that spawn in new rats every like 7 seconds or something like that. And yeah, I mean, obviously we have bugs and things to fix right now, but it's pretty close to like a complete game, at least as complete as this game needs to get. We're hoping to add like possibly a boss fight still. And we have some ideas for that, but I'm not gonna spoil them yet. So yeah, that's where we're at. Like and subscribe and comment and watch the video and do all the things. Tell all your friends about it, please. That's it. I'll see you next week.